Clay here with Havoc Off-Road. We've got a 2011 JK and we've got Bestop's premium TrekTop Pro. We're going to go ahead and install it on this Jeep and show you guys how easy it is. Open up the tailgate, get your glass out of the way. All right, we're going to remove this automotive grade clip. These things can be a pain sometimes. If they're done properly, it should slip right off. Just make sure to push this red clip all the way over to the right, and you're going to press right here and it should slip right off. The next thing we're going to do is remove this wiper nozzle feed, and if it's a little bit of a booger, just twist it a little bit and it should pull off too. Next step, we're going to remove 6 of these T40 Torx bits here. There's 6 in the back, 3 on each side. They should remove fairly easily, and then you can just move this by hand and get this bolt out of here. There's a plastic retaining clip on the bottom. We're just going to leave that in for now. We're going to go ahead and remove these 2 and then bounce to the other side and remove the other 3. All right, now for the front. Let's go ahead and get this sun visor out of the way. It makes things a little more accessible. Jeep's done a really good job in making this very easy to remove. So we're just gonna pull this back. We're gonna switch this over to the left. Come back here, we have 1 more of those. And then we're gonna remove these handheld knobs. They're really easy to move. Just make sure you're turning them counterclockwise and remove it all the way. Same thing, we're just gonna pop that lever back. We've already done the one in the middle, and we're just going to remove this hand knob. All right, now we're just going to remove this left T-top. It may be stuck a little bit on the seals, but with a little bit of light pressure, just push it up and to the front, and it should pop right out. All right, we're going to remove the right-hand side. It's the same thing. Just push up, forward, and it should pop right out. Set this stuff off to the side. Now we've removed the front T-tops. The last thing to do is remove 2 bolts, right here and right on the other side. This whole top will slide right off with the help of a friend after that. Same T40 bit, and just remove them. Pull the other side out, and we're ready to remove the top. Make sure the rear doors are open. There's a weather strip in here, and it just makes it a little easier for you to move the top around. And go ahead and push up on the side and get it loose from all of the seals. If it's been sitting on there for a while, it may be a little stuck and you may have to give it a little bit of finesse to get it off. At this time, you're gonna need a friend. You can't do this by yourself. These tops are very expensive and they're heavy. And you should be able to just push up on it and remove it. This kit comes with 2 different length Allen screws. You got a longer one here and a shorter one. This is the majority of the kit, so I'm just going to reference the shorter one or the longer one as we put everything together, make it a little bit simpler. Go ahead and grab a short Allen, make sure you get a washer. The washers are always going to go on the Allen side. There's a flange on the nut that acts like a washer. So we're going to put that through the top, locate that hole off to the side by itself, slip the bracket in there, and we're just going to snug all of this stuff for now because there's going to be some adjustment needed later on. Go ahead and grab your 4mm Allen. You can use a regular Allen, you can use a ratchet Allen, it really doesn't matter. We've got a ratchet Allen that we're using today. We're going to use a 10mm wrench to snug up the nuts on the back side of these Allen bolts. Go over here and snug up the other side. And now we're ready to put some parts on this truck. Now we're going to remove the sport bar cover so that we can install this rear bracket. This bracket helps tie everything in the halo system together with the front. So just unvelcro here, remove the zipper down, and this zipper starts way up here at the front. So just bring it all the way back and expose the bracket. Now take your 13mm socket and remove these bolts. Now we're going to button this back up a little bit so that we can take some measurements. This is the rear bracket, and what I did is used a Sharpie just to make some dots here because you want to measure twice and cut once. So hold your bracket up there, take your Sharpie, and make some lines so you know where to cut, because we've got to cut this cover so that these pieces can slip through the cover and bolt to the back of the sport cage. We're going to tighten these down with our 13mm socket. Get them snug, but don't over tighten them. We still need to be able to move this bracket around so that we can adjust everything. And now we'll repeat that on the opposite side. All right, we've got the rear door surround. It's going to ship to you like this. Just unfold it. And then we've got the front door surround. There's 3 knobs, going to be 2 long and 1 short. This short one is going to attach the Sunrider bracket in the middle, and we'll show you how that goes on right now. To install the rear door surround, we're going to get this locating tab, and we're going to make sure it aligns with this bottom hole. This other U-channel is going to go over the sport cage, and we want to make sure we get this gasket material in on the OE rubber seal, and all that helps keep water out and create a weather-tight fit. Now on the front door surround, we've got more weather strip material that's got to fit in the channel. So you just want to make sure you get your U-channel over the sport cage, make sure all the weather strip doesn't get folded over, get it in place, and then these knobs, you're going to have 1 long one in the front, you're going to have 1 short one in the middle that's going to help attach the Sunrider bracket, and you're going to have another long one in the rear. All right guys, we're going to put on the Sunrider bracket here. You need to make sure that the tab faces the back and that this cutout should align with the plastic piece right here. Now these are threaded into a plastic collar on the bottom, so they need to be tight, but they don't need to be over tightened. We've got the rear window carrier assembly here. We're going to grab 2 of the small Allens, and we're going to install it on this bracket that we installed earlier. This is the Sunrider bracket right here, and then these 2 holes are going to attach to the halo. So you want to make sure you leave the open end to the back and the plastic finished end to the front. And then we'll get that snugged up. Leave it a little bit loose because we're going to have to come back and adjust some of this stuff before the final tightening of everything is done. We've got the rear halo assembly. This rounded edge is going to go to the inside of this bracket, and make sure you grab 4 short Allens, nuts and washers. This is best done with a friend. It just helps everything move along a lot easier. We'll tighten this up a little bit, but we're going to leave it a little snug until we get everything adjusted at the end. Here we've got the halo center. Notice you've got the weather strip material right here. We're going to place this up top in the center. And then we've got the side pieces. And this is where this hole becomes important. We're going to slip this right into the extruded aluminum and over the top of this gasket. Get everything kind of lined up and button it up. So grab 2 of your long Allens, washer and a bolt. This is still loose, remember, so you can shove it around a little bit and get everything lined up. Push the long Allen through and start your first nut. Second one should go a lot easier. Now we're going to snug this up with our 4mm Allen and our 10mm wrench. All right, we've got 2 13mm bolts included with the hardware kit. This time you're going to put a washer on both sides, and we're going to go back to this hole, and it's easier to feed this through the bottom, get your washer over the top, and then get your locking nut on. And we'll snug that up and move on. Now we're going to install the strut bracket. Make sure to hook this underneath the lip of the tub, and then grab 2 of your long Allens and install it to the halo panel. and then we'll tighten this up. Now we're going to install the halo weather strip. This is just going to slip over this flange all the way around the halo. We're going to start with this angle against the OE seal at the bottom, get it on one side, and then instead of just working it around, come back over to the other side, start at the bottom over here, make sure everything's lined up, and come up to the middle, start in the center, and then work your way out to the corners. Now we're going to install the rear tempered glass. Grab 4 of the long Allens, washers, and nuts, and then get a friend's help. You're going to want the tailgate closed for this. It helps with the installation. Now we're going to install the struts. Notice the clip. It's very simple. It just pops right over the ball. Same thing with the bottom. Now we're going to install the rear tempered glass seal to tailgate. Notice the bevel cut should fit right against the other weather strip, and it's going to slip right over this channel on the bottom. I'm going to press it onto the side. We're going to come over here, just press it onto the middle, come back all the way to the other side, center everything up, and then press it on. Now we're going to put on these seals included with the kit. You get a thin, long one for the top and a little bit shorter, thicker one from the side, and you're going to put 2 on each side. Now we're going to install the header bows. These help prevent the top from sagging whenever there's snow or rain. They come with a protective film. We're just going to pull that off, discard that to the side, and this isn't sticky, it's just to help protect the foam. And then you're going to slip it in this slot right here on both sides, and then you can push up in the middle. It's okay, and it should snap right in. Now the rear one's a little different from the front, but it's the same idea. You just want to slip it into the clip, put some pressure up on the center until it pops into place. Just like that. All right, it's time to install the side bows for the Sunrider feature in the top. We're going to remove these screws from the spring plate. Now when you're installing the side bow for the Sunrider top, make sure that the spring release faces towards the inside. Slip it in. Line up your holes, and then install the screws provided in your hardware kit. Now the other 2 screws go on the bottom, and removing this plate gives you access to those. We're going to put these in, button this plate back up, and we'll get the top on the truck. The kit comes with 4 more gaskets to install. The first one we're going to install right over here, and it's just going to line this arch up with the side bow. The next gasket is going to get installed right in front of this tab along the fabric edge. Now we're going to install the Sunrider bow into this bracket. Like I said, make sure that this is facing towards the back. Pull out on this clip, push it over, and wait to hear the pop. Now that we got the side bows in, we're just going to orient the top so it's a little bit easier to put the side spring cables on. Now we'll pull this back, and then we're going to go back to the front and just pull this and fold it back, and this is going to release the tension so that we can put the spring cables into the spring cable bracket. Take the spring cable and mount it underneath the spring cable retaining bolt, and then hook it into the spring cable bracket. Now we're going to install the quarter side windows. This is tempered glass too. This little rib is going to fit in this channel and slide all the way to the front. And if you're familiar with Jeep soft tops, it's the same OE style all along the bottom, the back, and the front. Now the front channel is a little different. You can see where the fabric is actually sewed around the plastic. That's going to fit inside this groove. There's a lot of tension on there, and it helps distribute all of the pressure pulling back on the glass. Now we're going to install the bottom. It feels like you're putting a lot of pressure on it, but you kind of got to pull a little bit, and you're just going to stick this underneath the weather strip and push it in, and then work it all the way to the back. Same thing around the corner. And then we've got one more that installs the same way in a groove right on the inside of this halo panel. Make sure everything's tucked in. And there's your quarter glass. Now we're going to install the back portion of the top. It's the same as the bottom and the back of that bottom tub rail. It's just going to fold this plastic in this groove, and then we'll attach it with the hook and loop system in the back. Now we're going to move along to the back halo. This same plastic tab is going to fit in this groove all the way around the back, and then it'll be closed tight with the Velcro on the ends. All right, now it's time to close the Sunrider portion of the top. This cable that runs back to the spring actually runs in a closed loop all along the top on the side. When this is closed, it puts tension on that cable, and that's what actually keeps the top secure to the side of the frame. So we'll close it and show you how that part works. To shut this easy, we're just going to move the visor out of the way, fold this clip underneath there, and then just push forward. And that's it, everything's secure. Now we're going to install the electrical. This runs power up to the window wiper, and this runs fluid up to the nozzle. This is the same automotive clip as before. We're just going to push that in, feel it click a little bit, and then push the red clip over, and then it's secure. The kit comes with two straps. One's a 1/2 inch size, and one is a 1/4 inch size. The 1/2 inch size is just big enough to go over the large cable. You're not really supposed to put this inside of it. It could pinch that off and create leaks. The smaller one will fit over the defroster wires and will feed that through above the hinges in the back, so that way if you want to take the glass off, it's out of the way. Another cool feature is a quick disconnect, and when I mean quick, it's quick. Super easy, no clips, nothing to worry about. And this is what clips right into your defroster grid. So we just push that on, and then when you want to take your top off, you pull that off. This is the factory washer supply hose. If you're not going to go with the rear windshield wiper kit, it comes with a zip tie. All you need to do is fold this over, place a zip tie around it, and cut off the excess. Well, that wraps up the install. It was really easy and straightforward. If you guys have any questions, give us a call or go visit us at havocoffroad.com.